So I finally upgraded my girlfriend's work from home setup with this, the Flexispot EG8 standing desk. If you're thinking about getting a standing desk, whether it's for yourself or maybe as a gift for your partner, there's a lot to consider. And in this video, I'm gonna break down everything you need to know from assembly to daily use, and even a few things I wish I knew before setting it up. What's up, my dude? My name is Tony, and welcome back to the Spare Tech Room, where I try to help you make better tech choices. Now, Flexispot did send me the EG8 desk to test out, as well as the OC4 chair, which I'll be reviewing in my next video, but they're not paying me to make this video, and everything in this video is my personal opinion based on my own experiences with the desk. All right, before we dive into what makes this desk so special, let's take a quick trip back in time to me figuring out how to put this thing together. Oh, and if you don't care about the assembly or you just want to hear about the desk itself, you could jump to this timestamp right here. But for everyone else, buckle up. It's about to get educational. Roll the tape. All right, and here we are in the living room. Now, this is the space that I want to set up my girlfriend's desk. It's in our living room, but we have about, I believe, 6 feet wide here, and there's a little bit of a lip that comes out. I don't know if you can see that there. And it is about 35 inches, so we should be totally fine fitting the Flexispot desk in here. Now, one thing you want to make sure that you're doing before you even embark on a journey like this, you have two different options. Option number one is get yourself a buddy that's going to be able to help you move this thing around, because this desk is heavy. Option number two, just work on your squats and deadlifts, because it's definitely going to come in handy with this thing. So let's go ahead and grab the 55-inch Flexispot desk. Here we go. And this is it. So we are going to go ahead and crack this open and start putting it together, and I'll show you a little bits and pieces as we go. So we just moved the camera back a little bit to give you a little more of a view of what's going on here, and we pulled out the desktop, which is definitely the most heavy and dense part of the entire desk setup. So for now, what we're going to do is pull this out, and I believe we'll want to kind of lay it down on its top. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of the styrofoam out of the box here though, to lay it on top of so that it doesn't get all scratched up or dinged up or anything like that. Let's lay this down on the styrofoam to try to keep it safe as much as we can, and see what else we have in the box here. Now there's another box where you have the legs, the stand-up portion. So I think this might just be the desktop. And yes, it is. So there's nothing else but styrofoam in here. Let's go ahead and move this to the side, and I will grab the other box. Where did I put the other box? I think it's still in the garage. All right, remember that part when I said you gotta make sure you're doing your deadlifts and squats? That applies for this box as well. So this is where you actually get the motorized legs that are going to attach to the desktop. We're gonna go ahead and crack this open. This is definitely gonna be the more complicated part, getting that all set up. So let's go ahead and see what's inside. All right, first thing we wanna do is install the cross beam. So let's go ahead and get that going. That means we will need these two pieces and this piece here, which is the cross beam. So right off the bat, one of the great things about building a Flexispot desk that I'm noticing is that as someone who's done my own kind of DIY stand-up desk, having to drill all the holes in the wood can be a real pain in the butt. But right here, I'm noticing that we already have pre-drilled holes everywhere. So it should be basically like doing a much bigger Lego set. Everything's already drilled for you. You just got to follow the instructions, take the right bolts, and make sure you put them in the right place. And that should be it. So we'll start here by adding the cross beam on the legs. Again, by just taking the right bolts and screwing them into the right spot. Now, one of the things you always want to make sure of whenever you're doing something like this is that you don't tighten everything down immediately. You want to go ahead and just kind of get the bolts in their place, get them a little bit snug, but not so much that you can't adjust it a little bit afterwards. So we're just getting these not even completely tight, just enough to that they're holding it in place, and then we'll get them all locked down, and then we can tighten it up. All right, now that we have the cross beam in place, we're gonna go ahead and attach the two support brackets. You do wanna make sure that when you're attaching them, you'll notice here where the two screw holes are, there's a longer side and a shorter side. And you'll see where the motor is here. You wanna make sure that the long side is on the same side as the motor. So this one will go here, the other one on the other side. Again, make sure you're doing it that way. You do not want it backwards where the short side is on the same side as the motor. So we'll go ahead and lock those down into place and move on to the next step. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and flip this over upside down so that way we can attach the actual desk feet to the bottom of these two bars. So let's go ahead and, again, be careful. Take your time. Flip it on over, set it down gently so you don't damage anything. I say to myself. And we will attach the feet. Now, I believe it does still matter because you'll notice that the screws on the feet are a little offset. So you do also have a longer side and a shorter side. So we want to make sure that in this case, let me double check. Yes, in this case, you also want to make sure that the long side is on the same side as the motor, which is the same side as the other long side. So it all should line up just right. And we'll place that into position. Let me grab the bolts. Another thing I'm really liking here is that you'll notice that the bolts are all labeled A, B, C, D, etc. And you go in order. So the first piece that we attached was with bolt A, then bolt B, and now we're on to bolt C. So they're keeping it super simple for us, which I love. And if you want to see a sneak peek of what the instructions look like, here we are right here. So they actually have words explaining what you're supposed to do. So if you're wondering what's easier, assembling a Flexispot desk or literally anything from IKEA, Flexispot is the clear winner here. So I love that. All right, so now what we're gonna do here is we have to extend the actual unit itself so that it will fit the pre-drilled holes that are on the top. So we're gonna loosen up these 4 bolts here, which should allow us to stretch it apart. And then we'll put the, I think it's the tension rod is what it's called, in here as well. So we wanna make sure that we're bringing these apart so that it fits the screw holes and then applying the tension rod in it so that everything will come together. And once you extend it, you're gonna go ahead and lock this piece down here, connected to the motor. You'll use the smaller wrench just to get that locked down. And of course, you wanna make sure that this other side is locked in to the piece on the opposing leg. In fact, what you probably wanna do is make sure this is locked in first because you can rotate the other side to get that in place. So attach this part first. Don't be like me. Attach that first, then rotate this side and bolt it in. All right, and the next thing we're gonna do is a bit of a twofer. We're gonna take the adapter holder and we're just gonna slide it right onto the crossbar. And then we're gonna take the entire leg setup and place it onto the actual top. So the adapter holder, you'll notice, has a wider side and a narrower side. The narrower side is what's gonna go onto the bar, and you want it to where the wider side is on the opposite side of the motor. So we have the motor here, and on the other side of that is where this piece is gonna go. So we're just gonna latch this on underneath it, and then we wanna take this whole setup and place it on top of the tabletop. Now, we're actually very lucky because we have it set up the right way. So the motor is going to be obviously towards the back of the desk, and this is the very front. You'll notice because you have the controls up here and this little drawer setup. So we wanna make sure that the motor is towards the back. So we'll just lift this up, place it on top of the face, and then we'll adjust the width to make sure that it fits the pre-drilled holes that are in the top. Now again, this is one of those situations where it might benefit you to have a buddy to help you out here. But if you do decide to do it on your own, just be very careful. We'll just grab this and kind of bring it over into place. Just place it down there for now. Let me get this adapter, this little piece that fell off. We'll get that back in place. And then we will adjust the legs to where they match up with those pre-drilled holes. Actually, you know what? Classic me, I lied to you. It should be the exact opposite. So the motor should be facing towards the front. So we're gonna flip this around to make sure these lines all match up. This will now go over here. And now you'll notice that the lines all match up, which is great. All right, now this is the one part that you're gonna need a tool that doesn't come with the package, and that is just a typical everyday Phillips head screwdriver. So we're gonna go ahead and mount these legs to the top using the screws that are labeled D and your standard everyday screwdriver. I really like this one because it's magnetic and you can swap it from one side to the other and have Phillips or flathead depending on what you need. I'll link to this one in the description box below because I absolutely love this screwdriver and I've had it for years. Now remember, that part where I said do not screw these in all the way until you have all of your screws in place, this is the part in the build where that matters more than ever before. So make sure that you are not tightening down your screws all the way. Just get them in just enough to where they're actually making a connection, and then do the rest. And then once you have them all lined up, you can go back and tighten them down. All right, now that we have the one side locked down, we're gonna go ahead and take care of the other side. You can still stretch this or move it apart as you need to. You won't tighten this down until you've got this other side screwed in and these 2 screws in the center. So let's go on to that. Now, one thing I noticed with these is that they didn't have pre-drilled holes in these 2 spots. So you might have to put a little bit of elbow grease in there to kind of get it to penetrate the wood. Or if you have a drill, you can use it here. But for some reason, I don't know why, could just be a manufacturing error, could be I did something wrong, but there's no pre-drilled holes in these two spots. So I'm just gonna go the old-fashioned way. But once you get through there, you should be able to pretty easily screw it in the rest of the way. All right, now that we've got the legs locked down in place, we are gonna tighten up this whole extension part. And we're gonna take this piece here and screw it back into place, making sure that our rod is fully extended and locked in on both ends. So we'll just screw that back into place, get that nice and snug so it's not going anywhere. And that'll keep the rod from popping out. It'll keep it fully extended. And then with these, we can also use this to tighten it down if you need to. So I'll just give it a little bit of just a little bit of tension there to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And then we'll lock these down as well. Okay, now the last bits that you are going to have to screw in are called the baffles. I don't know what that means, but you're going to take these two plastic pieces and you're gonna put one on either side. You're gonna have the kind of lip portion almost hooking over the tension rod that we have here. So we'll place that here. You do want to make sure that you're leaving a little bit of space from the motor. There are these two pre-drilled holes, so you should be able to get them right into there. And you'll do them on both sides. And then that will be the last bit that needs to actually be screwed in. The rest is just plugging things in and flipping it over and testing it out. If I had to guess, this is probably to make sure that nothing's getting tangled up with the tension rod here. I don't know exactly what it's for, but that's my best guess. All right, our next step here is that we are gonna insert the adapter. This is where the power is gonna go into. And pretty easily, you're just gonna take that adapter holder, the tiny little plastic piece that we attached earlier, and you're gonna slide this right into it. So we'll get that in there, and it should hold the kind of power brick adapter right in place. And now this will still slide around a bit, so you have some freedom of movement. But we'll get that in place, and then we start plugging stuff in. Now, first things first, we've got the power cable coming from the motor, and that will plug into the back of the little adapter box. I don't know if you can see that we have up here. It can really only go into one spot, so we just make sure that that's going into the right place. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Then we have two other cables. This is, of course, your pretty typical power cable. So that's gonna go from this block that we just put in the adapter into the wall. So we'll hold on to that. Then we have this other cable, which plugs into the little piece coming off of this block, and then the other end into kind of the controller up front. So we'll just remove our little twisty tie here. I like to hold on to these twisty ties though, because sometimes they come in handy when you're doing a little bit of cable management later on. But we'll take that, plug one piece into the adapter. Again, this is one of those situations that you can't mess it up. It only goes in one way. So plug that in. There's a little piece that locks over it, so you'll just clip that into place so it doesn't go anywhere. And then you run that cable over to this block. And again, only goes in one way. You can't mess it up unless you really try. Another thing that I love here is that in the box, they also have these cable ties that you can adhere to the underside of the table and kind of like lock these into place. So that's really helpful. I'm gonna do my own cable management with this desk setup, but I will hold on to these because these can definitely be handy. But if you want, now would be a great time to go ahead and slap these on and just kind of tie these cables down. I am gonna go ahead and plug the power cable into this brick, just so I have it there. I'll just leave it hanging though for the time being, because I'm gonna run everything into a surge protector, all the things that we're gonna have on the desk. So we'll deal with that later, but for now, we'll just leave this plugged in, and I think it's time to flip this table over. Okay, now this is that time when having a friend can be really helpful. I am just going to flip this over, and then I'll have to spin it around because the controls are on this side, so wish me luck. I am very happy that I laid this down on a soft surface, on that styrofoam that came in the box, because this could easily get scratched up if you have it face down on the hard floor. So very helpful, glad I did that. Big recommend. And now we are going to spin this around and show you what we've got. I'm pretty happy with this already. Whew, it is heavy though. All right. Here we go. So now that the desk is all set up and standing tall, let's talk about the stuff that really matters. The design and features that make the EG8 worth considering. But before we get into that, I just want to thank everyone here that's subscribed to my little channel. As of recording, we are at 1,627 subscribers, which absolutely blows my mind. I set a probably insane goal of hitting 5,000 subscribers this year, so if you want to help support an independent creator, and if you like tech as much as I do, hit the subscribe button below the video. If you're not feeling it though, that's cool. If you could at least hit the like button, that's gonna help push the video out to more people. Either way, I appreciate you watching. All right, on to the stuff that really matters. Starting with the frame. It's all metal and incredibly sturdy. It really feels super solid and built to last. And it doesn't really wobble even when it's fully extended. I also love that Flexispot pre-drills all the holes, making the build process smooth and easy. The wood top is gorgeous and gives you a clean, modern look that pairs perfectly with the all-white frame. Not only does it look super good, but it's also super practical. The drawer in the center is plenty big enough. It's perfect for stashing notebooks, chargers, or maybe a little sneaky snack. And it's seamlessly integrated so it doesn't mess with the clean design. The height adjustment controls are also super intuitive. You've got 4 height presets, which means you can set a setting for sitting, standing, or anywhere in between. That, plus the motor is crazy quiet. I'm honestly shocked by how quiet. Listen, hold on. Can you hear that? It's crazy. Oh, and up front, you get 2 USB ports, a regular USB and a USB-C for charging your devices. That right there makes the whole thing worth it if you ask me. I'm just kidding, but seriously, it's awesome to have. And as far as weight capacity is concerned, they say it can handle something like 150 pounds, but well, yeah, I just had to test its limits, which was absolutely terrifying, but still smooth as butter. Now, of course, I built this desk specifically for my girlfriend's work from home setup, and although she doesn't want to be on camera, I can confirm that she loves it. It's honestly the perfect upgrade for anyone that spends hours at their desk, whether it's work or studying or gaming or whatever. And hey, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. If you're looking for a gift that's thoughtful and practical, you can't go wrong with this. Nothing says I love you like office equipment. Either way, links are down in the description box, but before you add it to your cart, there's one thing you should know if you're planning on mounting a monitor arm like the one I have here. The desk has a metal lip that runs along the edge, which makes it tricky to clamp anything down directly to it. For me, it wasn't a huge issue. I just grabbed a couple of small wood pieces to create a flat surface for the clamp, and it worked like a charm. But it's something to keep in mind if you're setting up a more complex rig. That said, it's definitely not a deal breaker by any means. Honestly, this desk has so much going for it that little hiccups like that are easy to overlook. So, is the Flexispot EG8 worth it? Honestly, yeah. Between the sturdy build, the modern design, smooth height adjustments, and the super handy USB port, it's everything you'd want in a standing desk. Plus, it's by a brand you can really trust. Flexispot isn't just some fly-by-night, no-name desk off of Amazon. They are kind of the go-to brand when it comes to standing desks. So you can trust that they're gonna have solid customer support and be reliable in the long run. Now, as much as I love this desk, it's only half of the setup. Flexispot also sent me their OC4 ergonomic chair, and while I haven't tested it out just yet, it looks really promising. If you're upgrading your workspace, your chair is just as, if not more important than your desk. So make sure you stick around for my next video where I'll give you my full thoughts on it. All right, if you're ready to make the leap and grab the Flexispot EG8, I've got a link for the best deal I could find down in the description box. Clicking those links helps support the channel and I really appreciate it. And hey, if this video was helpful, go ahead and hit that like button for me and subscribe for more videos just like this. That way, I can see you next time in the spare tech room. Be good.